Hi, GITV. Bob the Axeman Hildebrand here with Steve, the general manager of Team Liquid, and we're actually at the Hollywood Sports Park Combat Center. I would highly suggest coming out here if you ever have the chance. But Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about Team Liquid themselves?
So Team Liquid, we actually today are out here with our League of Legends team. We have over 40 different players in 8 different games. Today we're dealing with our main team and our challenger team. And yeah, just looking to have a really fun time. So.
No, it's been pretty fun watching you guys play, and I mean, most of the folks that are out here today are League of Legends players in general. Well, not in general, specifically your League of Legends players. Now, some of them have never even gotten close to a real farm, so it's really interesting seeing them out here. Can you tell me about what it's like to train up for a League of Legends game?
So going into a game, it's pretty technical, I would say. Every week you go in, you start your week with a game plan, and you're just really focusing on practicing for the specific team that you're playing that week. So we go through everything through sports psychology to just regiment training to like very, very specific matchup training in terms of even going as detailed as like sleep schedule and diet. So these guys are treated just like professional athletes, and yeah, they get the rewards for it too. So
I was just going to say, that really sounds like a professional athlete. That's really interesting. And I believe some of them were actually telling me that these League of Legends team members on Team Liquid live very close to each other, and also like will train like 8 to 10 hours a day once the season gets started. Is that true?
Yeah. So these guys during the week will practice Tuesday through Friday. And you're looking for about 8 to 10 hour blocks, usually with 2 practice sets versus other teams. And during that time, we use a lot of it just strategizing, theory crafting, and coming up with a game plan for the weekend. Also, like during the week, there's so many things that go outside of the game. Although we mandate about an 8-hour play block, some of these guys will play 15, 16 hours a day. So just because, 1, they love it, and 2, they just want to be the best. And when you want to be the best in the world at something, you tend to sacrifice a lot of other things. So, yeah.
Well played, well played. Now, you also have your challenger team here as well. Now, how do you guys rank these folks, and who makes it to the pro team, who makes it to the challenger team?
So a lot of the times these guys get scouted pretty heavily throughout the course of the solo queue ladder, which is like a ranking system. It'll rank the top 200 players in the game. So most of these guys fall somewhere on there. And to build a team, it really comes down to there's free agent markets. There's so many just contracts, and it's way past just like, oh, I like this player. Let's get him on this team. There's just so much that goes into it nowadays in terms of getting him for tryouts, getting him for practice. Yeah, it's not as just like, oh, he looks good, let's get him. So it all has to work out. So a lot of players have agents too nowadays. So
Really?
Yeah.
No, I heard you mention free agent, and that's really interesting because like it is getting taken a lot more serious, and you guys are on a lot of like network TV channels, including ESPN and I believe Fox Sports. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've been on that. We were on like Kelly and Mike. We've been in the Wall Street Journal. The list goes on.
Yeah, none of those sound familiar. Yeah, never heard of any of those. Well, wow, that's pretty incredible. Now, you've been managing the team for how long now?
Almost 2 years, so it's been quite a while. Yeah.
My goodness. Now, Team Liquid has other teams that play different games all over the country, including Counter-Strike or CS:GO, essentially, correct?
Right.
Now,
actually, yeah. Our CS:GO team right now is actually competing in a competition called DreamHack, and it's their first major that they've ever qualified for. So, pretty hype. And go our CS:GO team, man. That's my roots.
Oh, yeah?
Counter-Strike. Yeah. So.
Well played. Now, what can you tell me about the current World Championships going on right now?
So right now, we're actually right before the finals, and the 2 teams that will be playing are the Ku Tigers and SKT Telecom, both Korean teams. And it looks right now that SKT is just going to steamroll everybody. They haven't dropped a single game the entire playoffs, and they're just looking untouchable at this point. I think only one team has even come close to even touching their base. So it's literally just been a landslide victory for them. So I think they're the very heavy favorites to win the Worlds.
Yeah, as someone who's like mildly familiar with League of Legends, to not have lost at all is pretty rare, I would assume. So now you also, after the World Championships end, I believe in a couple days, you guys are just getting up to go to the World Playoffs right after that?
So actually, we are in our off season. We unfortunately didn't quite make it. But it's cool. It allows us to do opportunities like this. But we are actually about to, within the next 2 weeks, go right back into full practice, full training, just like we were for the regular season. So it's right back into full gear, full steam ahead. And we have a new player this year, so really looking to integrate him with the team early and just start training right away. So.
Now, out of curiosity, if a player doesn't perform well, or if, like, let's say, they're not practicing as much as they do you have, like, a player be good stick, or do you have, like, is there any sort of, like, punishment, or do they just get dropped from the team? Like, how does that work with, like, making them stay on the schedule? Have you ever had any problems with that?
In terms of keeping a schedule, I mean, most of these guys, the part that they want to win so bad definitely drives it. So, like, for example, if a player's not waking up on time or something like that, it's a lot more than – you have to just make them understand, like, hey, it's not about you. Like, you have a coach waiting. You have the other team's coach waiting. You have their players, their staff, their analysts. Nowadays it's not just 5-on-5. You have, like, for us, we have, like, 3 remote analysts that watch every single scrim. They're recording data for every single game we play. And you're, like, keeping those people waiting if you want to slack off. And nowadays, I mean, we arguably have the best challenger team at the moment. So if someone really wants to slack off, we'll go ahead and just throw one of those guys in. And, hey, you don't want to do your job? Here's a guy that's really, really hungry for it. So definitely lights a fire up their ass. So.
Well played. Yeah, the challenger team has been really giving the mainline team a good what for today. I mean, I think the first 2 games we played for Airsoft, just getting into it, the challenger team had them waxed cold. So that was pretty impressive. But, yeah, that's pretty amazing to know that, I mean, you guys have so much metrics behind what you do. I mean, 3 folks just, like, literally going through the footage as it happens. That's amazing.
Right.
So, Steve, thank you so much for coming out here. Really appreciate the time to hang out with Team Liquid, and look forward to more of this soon to come. All right, so who do we have here playing from Team Liquid from both your teams today?
So we have Quas, Dom, Phoenix, and Smoothie. And then from our challenger team, we have Matt, Youngbin, Dardock, and Signature. So,
where's Old Ben?
Youngbin?
Well, there's Youngbin. Where's Old Ben?
Where's Old Ben? That's his brother somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, touche.
Yeah.
He got lost. Okay. Scene. All right, so you've got your main team out here today, and a lot of them have some interesting stories. Why don't you tell me a little bit about them?
So with Phoenix, I think it's pretty cool. He comes from South Korea, and he was here on a P1 visa, which is the same visa that you would give an Olympian or a professional athlete of any sort just to play video games. It's actually recognized by the United States as like an official sport now. So that's pretty cool. We have Quas, who's from Venezuela, and he kind of made his way into the scene by the same way, obtaining a P1 visa. It was obviously a lot trickier from Venezuela, but he has like a really crazy history about him, about how he got into the league scene. And Dom, who now is the oldest player in the LCS, which is the league we compete in, at the age of 25. So
wow,
yeah, it's kind of a young league, right? And,
just a bit.
And then we have our last player, Smoothie, and he's the rookie on the team. So he has been with us for maybe about 2 weeks now.
Oh wow!
So this is all new for him. Being in front of a camera, just doing it all the interviews, and yeah, he's been a trooper so far. So really looking forward to spending some time with him.
Absolutely, get some team bonding.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, again, thank you so much for coming out. Looking forward to some more BB Wars.